Tyler. I'm with New Horizons. Basically, I'm here today to go over the workforce process for Dade County. Please follow the steps below, and it's pretty straightforward. Hopefully, it will make it a lot easier in going through these steps, okay, as I show you. Okay, step one is you have to register at Employee Florida. What you would do is you say the bullet one under step one, register. Just click on the link employeeflorida.com, and it says upload your resume. So I'm going to click on the link, and it's going to take me to the Employee Florida website. Okay, if you are registered already, you have a username and password, you're able to get in to Employee Florida. If you're not registered, click not registered, and then scroll down to option 2 and click individual, which you're setting up an individual account. Once you click on individual, you fill out the required fields, the username, password. It says here enter password 8 to 20 characters, must include at least one uppercase, okay, and one lowercase letter and special characters. So please follow directions here. Then it says confirm the password, always write it down. Please make a note of your username and password, because I have many individuals that get locked out of the system. Security questions, basically follow what is your pet's name, what is your mother's maiden name, and then put your security response. Write that down as well. Put it in a secure spot. Social security number, it tells you do not enter dashes. So again, follow these instructions here on the side, and then re-enter the social, and then your zip code. Are you authorized to work in the United States? And then you go ahead and click next and follow the wizard, and that would create your registration with Employee Florida. Once you're done with completing your registration, log off and log back in to make sure that your username and password is correct, and then upload your resume. Now we're going to step one, the second bullet. It says register at https://iapps.southfloridaworkforce.com/IAA. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and the result on that would be to this page, okay? And then it says it's a web-based application. It says start here. So hit this button where it says start here, and it takes you to a web-page application. Required fields have asterisks, so put your first name in, your last name, last four of your social, date of birth, zip code, phone number, and then it says why are you here today? Select training for a job. Hit save, and it goes on to asking you some other questions. So this would complete the second bullet of step one. Now, what you need to do is, this is very important. It says apply for a minimum of 5 jobs a week in Employee Florida related to the most recent position you held. Do this every week until your case manager tells you otherwise. Remember, when you're doing it, what you can do is do the 5 job searches through Employee Florida. Okay? The reason you do it through Employee Florida is so that the case managers can track your activity. Okay? So it makes it a little bit easier. Remember, you have to prove that you're doing the job searches so that they can provide you the funding if you qualify. The way you prove it in Employee Florida is that there is an activity log in Employee Florida which shows the activity that you've completed. So do 5 job searches mostly related to the most recent job you held. So if you were a restaurant waiter, you do 5 jobs as a restaurant waiter, okay, a week. Even though you're trying to get into an IT program, you still do 5 jobs as a restaurant waiter, okay? And this is, again, just for Workforce's process. You could still utilize Career Builder and Monster for other jobs, okay, and Employee Florida, but for the Workforce process, you have to use, or you should be using Employee Florida, and it should be the most recent position you held. Additionally, my suggestion is do 10 job searches a week, okay? Those of you that are looking for work, you're probably doing this already. The only thing is you have to prove to workforce that you're doing these job searches. And the way you would do them is, again, I would do 5 through Employee Florida and 5 through either Career Builder and Monster. What you do is, if you're applying through Career Builder and Monster, you would get a confirmation email. So for example, I applied for a job at AT&T as an installer. I applied for a job at AT&T as an installer. Basically, I get a confirmation email from AT&T stating that thank you for applying for this job. So they acknowledge that you applied for the job. That confirmation email, print it, and basically that's proof of a job you applied for. So that, in Employee Florida, it's pretty straightforward because they could see your activity. So I would lean towards Employee Florida, but I would mix it up a little bit because I'm not sure of how many lead sources Employee Florida has. But I would try to do 10 a week just to make sure you're doing it correctly. So that completes step 1. I can't emphasize enough, you could get these done Monday, these job searches done Monday through Sunday. Okay, they want you to do 5 jobs a week, Monday through Sunday. Okay, minimum. Like I suggested, I would probably do 10 if I were you, but it's up to you. Additionally, they don't want you to do 10 jobs and then the following week, no jobs. It has to be a minimum of 5 a week. 5 job searches a week of your most recent position. Okay, so then I'm going to go into step 2. Step 2 of the workforce process is you need to gather all your eligibility documents that pertain to you. So make sure you have your resume updated. Make sure you have your latest skills for computers. Okay, make sure you have a signed Social Security card original, your driver's license or Florida ID with your current address, a birth certificate or passport. If you have children, kids' birth certificates, if they are under 18 and reside in your house. If you're married, your marriage certificate. If you're divorced, your dissolution of marriage. Employment authorization card or residential alien card if you're a non-U.S. citizen. The program curriculum and acceptance letter you're going to be getting from New Horizons. It's going to be emailed to you. That's not going to be a problem. Selective service or registration. This pertains to men. You could actually go to sss.gov, www.sss.gov, and you could actually put in your Social Security number and your date of birth and your name, and the result would be when you registered. This is going to pertain to individuals that were born after 1960 and individuals that came into the country before they were 26 years old or older, or younger, excuse me. Additionally, you're going to need your proof of highest grade completed. If you have a high school diploma, associate's, bachelor's, you need to bring that in your transcripts. Proof of income, your most recent position you held. Unemployment wage transcript. If you're collecting unemployment, you need your award letter for unemployment. If you're receiving food stamps, your food stamp award letter for how long you're going to be receiving them till. Letter of support. This pertains to individuals that are not receiving unemployment or collecting unemployment or receiving food stamps. So it's simply a template letter that states that somebody is financially supporting you. They could either be living with you or somebody that you know that literally just signs a document stating that they're supporting you financially over the course of the program. We have a template for this, so you could utilize our template. And lastly, proof of address if it's different than your driver's license. Okay, step 3. Visit Workforce Center assigned to you and go and attend their orientation. Make sure you arrive 30 minutes early. We're going to send you to the center we feel that is going to be adequate to you as far as who's going to give you the funding the quickest. Okay? We're going to send you to these centers based on our overall knowledge of who has funding for your funding stream. If you're a career changer, only certain centers will take you in. Some centers will not take on career changers. So please understand that I'm going to send you to the center that I believe is going to get you funded the soonest. So for example, here I put Miami Beach Career Center. What department? So when you go into the Miami Beach Career Center, you're going to say that I'm here for the WIA orientation, okay? Obviously, I'm going to illustrate the address there and the phone number, and it's going to tell you when to go and at the time. Always arrive 30 minutes early. My suggestion is call them, because sometimes during holidays they will cancel the orientation, maybe make it the following day, but I would call them a day prior and confirm if they are having a WIA orientation that day. 95% of the time they are. We're pretty much dead on with when they're conducting their orientations. Okay? After you visit them at the orientation, they're going to give you, the workforce agency, they're going to give you some direction. And they're going to tell you what you need to do. Some of you are going to need to take a TABE exam. If you have a high school diploma or equivalent or an associate's degree, they're going to ask you to take a TABE test. The TABE test stands for Test Aptitude Basic Education. It's pretty much an entry-level exam to a Miami-Dade college. So you'll probably have to go to this workforce agency minimal 3 times. Once for their initial orientation, another time so that you take the TABE test, and lastly, and take tests and do your certification eligibility of paperwork and see if you qualify, and lastly to pick up the funding. So probably 3 or 4 times. Make sure you ask the workforce agency and who you're speaking to, what is your next step with who and at what time. Every single time that you come in contact with the workforce agency, please let me know so that I could give you direction, give you a, kind of like a call plan so that you know what to do next. They'll probably ask you to do a career scope. This is if needed. So for example, if you are a career changer, they'll probably do a personality index on you to see if computers are for you, okay? They'll do a TABE test, like I mentioned, and a ready-to-work test if needed. So these are just basic, professional exams that will help you and help you make a better decision and help them make a better decision. Remember, they have to deem you suitable for employability. They're investing in you, and they need to make sure that they're making the right decision for the right person. So as I mentioned to you before, what is the next step with who and at what time? Lastly, you're going to let your success coach or case manager know when the start date of the class is going to be. Okay? So this is going to be on the acceptance package that you received from Martha Jimenez. The program's name is Microsoft Certified IT Professional, Green Program. Those classes have 6 certification titles and 11 exams. Those classes are A+, which is 2 exams, the 801 and 802, Network Plus, which is the N1005, Windows 7, which is the 70/680 exam. Then it goes into the Microsoft Server, which is the 410, the 411, the 412 exam, the 413 exam, the 414 exam, and lastly, it would be the CCNA. So these are all covered through Workforce. Workforce is going to pay for the books, the tuition, the exams. Okay, so they're going to cover everything. Additionally, if you fail any one exam, New Horizons is going to cover each exam one time. Please keep us posted every step of the way in order to better serve you. It's very important for you to, every step of the way, whether you come in contact with Workforce, to reach out to me or Mr. Perez so that we could give you direction. And additionally, when I go to the Workforce agency, I could ask about what's going on with your case. Remember, they're dealing with hundreds of people. Okay, so the more that I talk about you, the more that we keep them, or we keep you in their radar. So therefore, please make sure you stay in touch with us, letting us know what's going on. It could be email, phone call, text, whichever method is best for you for communication. And again, that concludes our WIA process here in Dade County. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, you know you can reach me by email or by phone.